What's going on, everybody? Daryl Andrews here, Coach D. And yesterday, I did a post on social media that that was focusing in on the need for seeing a new perspective on self-care. Before I go into what I'm going to talk about, just want to give a little love to my hat here. It's my good friend and high school buddy, Willie Dowdell. Take a look at this Forgiven Fitness that he's doing. He's training athletes and individuals all over the country. Look at this guy. You would think he's still in high school the way he built, but he takes fitness seriously, man. So just I like to do things like this. I'm not a sponsor. I don't. It ain't. It's not an endorsement in which I get paid for anything. It's just when I see something that's working, especially in the area of fitness and well-being and self-care, I'm going to promote it. So, Will, good job in what you're doing. But so self-care is what I want to talk about today because here's the situation. I'm really working hard. I'm having some success, but boy, it's like rolling a big rock uphill. I'm getting trying to get people to see that wellness is an end result. So when we say the term wellness, like a wellness initiative, I get where people are coming from, and I don't want anybody to change that title. But what we've been doing in partnership with companies and workforce development groups and education systems and all of that is helping them to understand you just can't tell people to do wellness. You can have a program, you can hire people to run those programs, and you can put information in front of people, and that's good. I would never discourage that. I think it's fantastic, and boy, I think it's helped a lot. But the big thing that we need to realize is, and something we've been saying forever, and it's in the title, and that is self-care is a precursor to wellness. And what I mean by that is, like for me, I look at my life and I say, there's things I want to make sure that I'm on top of. I want to make sure I'm on top of my health. I want to think I'm on top of being a husband and a father, being effective in my community where I can, you know what I mean, as a Christian, my faith in God. I mean, there's things I want to stay on top of. And here's what I'm trying to communicate. I want to stay on top of them. Think about what I'm saying. I want to. So at the end of that decision is an outcome. So when I say I want to stay on top of my health and my vitality and all that, all right, that leads to wellness. So it's the act of self care that produces this whole idea of wellness. And so, when I think about other things I just mentioned, I want to stand on, top of. I was just with my son. We were walking in this beautiful location yesterday in Florida. Relationship means a lot to me, and you don't get relationship by talking about it. You get relationship by doing something. So, and what a lot of people do is they don't necessarily like to get into other people's worlds. They want people to come into theirs. Like what's interesting to you is not important. That's not a relationship. What is a relationship? What's interesting to you, and how can I join you in some of the things you're interested in sometimes? So my son loves the outdoors. He loves trees. He loves water. He loves walking. And so we went to this beautiful location near where we live, and we just walked and talked and palm trees and ocean, water and lake, and saw a sign that said, "Be careful of the dangerous animals." Yep, you're in Florida. You're gonna be careful of them gators because they're there. But the point being, I was in his space, something he loved, and that's self care to me. You know what I mean? So what am I doing? Yeah, 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 yeah. There it is. Yep, it is absolutely, Tom. Absolutely. Yep, it's too hard over there. Thank you, my friend. And I'm enjoying working with you and your team too, man. You guys are great, great people over there in Denver. But I'm gonna pop you up on my little. I love when folks comment. Thank you, partner. He's right. It's too hard over there. I like that, man. So what we need to do is understand that this thing of wellness, right? Wellness is a byproduct of self care. So if I run an organization or have a company or anything like that, okay, and I'm telling people we want to do wellness, we want to do wellness, we want to do wellness. That's cool and that's good and everything. But unless they bought in, you can tell them all day long. Unless they see the benefits to them personally and take ownership, then what happens in reality is you're just talking to them. And so what you need to do is give them a more a comprehensive understanding of the need for them to own this. Like we as a company or organization or agency, workforce development group will provide you with resources that leads to wellness. Because believe me, a healthy employee, this is what companies thinking is the truth. A healthy employee is a productive employee. It's like, man, the person that comes in with full of energy and vigor and vitality that's a healthy. But a person that comes in, man, is stressed out, burnt out, don't have anything to give, but then you got to serve a customer. How you going to do that? You got to serve a client. How you going to do that? So you fill up your tank. And when you do that, you have the ability to fill up other people's tanks more effectively. And here's is important, self care. And I mean this with all my heart. Self care keeps your tank full. If you say I ain't got nothing left, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, you're not doing self care. And that comes in many shapes and form sizes. It comes from fitness, and which I do every day. I go to that gym and work out like I'm 20 something years old, even though I'm 40 something years older than 20 something. I walk with my son in the like I said yesterday, I ride my bike. I try to get about 15 to 20 miles in every week. I walk about 10 miles a week, and I pray as a man of prayer. I just, man, all this stuff I do because why? Like we see Todd on here, I work with his organization where we're doing team building. They don't want somebody depleted, lacking energy, right, Todd? Nobody depleted, lacking energy, no vitality whatsoever, but you can come train us on teamwork. You know, you're gonna train us on teamwork. And in reality, how can I give you guys that when I have no energy? You see, and so what I'm saying to you, in particular, leaders out there, I was sharing this yesterday. I had a chance. I think I posted something about it to work with all of the youth leaders with Equus, which is a workforce development organization, and all their youth leaders nationally. And I shared this with them. I said, with the leaders, I said, you guys are leading, tens of thousands of people all over the United States in their different groups. And I said, you have to be the model of the leadership that you want to see exhibited throughout your organization. And so when we talk about things like self-care or team building or anything like that, what we're saying in essence is as a leader, right, you need to be the one that's spearheading, man, the one that's taking it seriously and talking to your people about it. Because we're talking about creating cultures, okay? Creating cultures that are of wellness. You hear that all the time. The coach is here to say, if you don't get folks to embrace self-care, it ain't gonna happen. Because people think that self-care is selfish and I don't have time. I'm too busy taking care of other people. I tell people you don't have time not to. How are you gonna take care of somebody and you burnt out? You have no energy. You stressed out. You going to see your therapist twice a week and you're gonna give somebody else something. We gotta work on this, y'all. It's becoming a national epidemic right now. The rates are scary. I mean, it really is scary right now. And then I'm gonna say this. I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Some of the times, even though I'm right now using technology. This is what I use it for to educate and to inform. But I don't spend much time with entertainment on this stuff. I don't. I just don't because I'm not gonna put all my energy into watching this and watching that and looking at this reel. Who's goofy today? I'm too busy trying to be productive. I'm too busy trying to live life. So we need to sometimes pull back from those little habits that we have that isolate us from people and just locks us into rooms or whatever. And we're spending hours a day looking at reels and stuff. That is not healthy. That's unhealthy. It's unproductive. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's you do it like limited. But if you're looking at your screen time on your phone, it's saying 10 hours a day. That's a lot. 8 hours a day. That's a lot of screen time, unless you're using it for business or something like that. That's different. If I'm just using it to scroll and to do this and do that, it ain't healthy. And you won't see it, but other people around you will. They'll see the imbalance, you know. And then we look up and wonder why I've changed internally. Well, you've disconnected. You know what I mean? Now you're kind of slightly addicted to this instead of focusing on other things. Like I said, I'm up every morning 5:30. I'm in that gym. I don't feel like going, but I go. You know what I mean? I mean, I take walks places. I mean, sometimes I feel like I got a million things on my plate. Today I got 20 different things that need to get done, but I'm going to make time later today to go to a happy place because I realize as a leader, I have to do self care. So keep in mind, focus on the foundation. The foundation is self care, and then inundate people with wellness, everything, programs, speakers, mindfulness coaches. You go right ahead and do it. But if you're doing that and folks haven't purchased, haven't bought into self care, guess what? You're just doing it. Okay? You're just doing it. And I want to say this as I get ready to close. Okay? Um, not doing self care. Okay? Not doing self care is selfish. Really, not doing. Write that one down. Not doing self care. All right, is selfish. And what I mean by that is simply this: if I am a parent, if I'm a organizational leader, um, across the board, and I'm not doing self care, that could be a detriment to those we love. Okay, because now we get sensitive to them, and we may speak in a certain way, and so in reality, we don't want that. So do self care. One way we're focusing on it is on LinkedIn. I'm actually created, and it should pop up here. It may not make the LinkedIn post yet, but I'm going to get it over there in just a moment because for some reason my messages on StreamYard are not going to LinkedIn. But I'm going to post this thing we're doing called the self care movement. And what we're doing, okay, and with this is we're creating a community on LinkedIn, all right, that's focusing on self care. And these are professionals, okay? I'm not just talking. This ain't a Facebook thing. This is LinkedIn. We all out here working. We're all out here hustling. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna daily post self care related activities in that group, and I want you to do it as well. Like I want you to talk about your self care journey. Talk about what you're doing, what you where you're struggling, things like that. Because what we want to do is we want to create a movement. I'm finishing the book by the same title, should be done in 3 weeks, and we're very serious about this. Now we do other trainings, we do team building training, we do diversity, equity, inclusion, we do post-pandemic leadership, we do organizational management. We coach leaders, executive coaches, we do DEI coaching, we do self-care coaching, we do all of that kind of stuff. But of all of this, to me, one of the most important things for this generation is self-care. I just believe it because all those other things come alive when self-care becomes a priority. Then, as an organization, you're putting $1 billion into a wellness initiative. Now it makes sense because people are taking advantage of those gym memberships, or they're taking advantage of those healthy food options that you may be offering, discounts and things like that, because they see the benefit. I always tell people I've been self-employed for 20 plus years, but if I worked for a corporation and they had a wellness program, I would wear that thing out. I would take advantage of everything they had to offer. I would take those little coupons. I would, because why? I own self care. Nobody has to convince me otherwise. So our programs are designed to encourage your teams around self care. You know what I mean? You put systems together to create synergy within your organization around self care. Because it's one thing to talk about it, and it's another thing when you do it. And then when you get people to come together and start to strategize around it and see the benefits of going to bed at a decent time, getting some rest. I know everybody working hard, but what's the sense of working hard if you get 3 hours of sleep and you ain't got no energy the next day? Get your rest. People are looking at their diets. And what we talk about a lot is what we call the plateau of latent potential, and that just basically means don't try to do it all at once. So when we're coaching our organizations and coaching individuals, we're saying, okay, we're going to take one thing at a time and we're going to get some mastery going. And then once you're feeling good with that, we're going to go to the next thing, but we're going to stay on you. We're going to coach you. We're going to be encouraging you. We're going to push you. We're going to pull you, and we're going to hug you. But we're going to get you into the mode of self-care. So if that's something that you're interested in looking into, just, put our website is here. You can take a look here at website. I don't have the actual link, but it's coachdspeaks.com, and take a look there. Then we have self care empowered That's another one of our websites. Take a look at that. All right. And then lastly, once again, join the LinkedIn community. All right. And I'll post that one more time. We're doing the self-care movement in the workplace because we're serious about this because we believe that the future of our workplace across the board is riding on wellness and self-care. Because if we have unhealthy people, that can be a real ugly look in the workplace. And right now, the numbers are just too high with depression and stress and all that. So we're gonna do our best to help to curtail some of that. So take care. Reach out to us. Email here is info@coachdspeaks.com. If it's not for you, talk to other folks that you know that need it. We do individual coaching too. We do executive coaching in the area of self-care. If you're a leader and you need somebody to help you, you're working hard, you're building these big organizations, but you're burnt out, stressed out. We're not psychologists. Sometimes you may need a psychologist or you need somebody to help with trauma. What we're going to help you do is put your systems of self-care together. All right. I don't want anybody to think in any way I'm one of those folks. We're not. But what we are is we're very motivational and we will help you to put those and stay with those systems because the systems approach is the only way to do this. Motivation alone is not good enough. It's good, but what you need is a system. And I'll leave you with this. You know, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You want to write this one down. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So with me, working out in the morning is a system. Diet, I'm doing intermittent fasting. I don't eat till 1 o'clock. System. Okay. I put on my calendar activities I'm going to do through the week. System. Because you know why? When you have a system, this is important. You don't have to think about it anymore. The system takes care of itself. All right. So hopefully, if we can be of help, reach out to us, and we do virtual trainings. Like I said, we just did this one with Equus National yesterday. All the youth leaders. Most of our work is virtual, and but we do live. We do it on a limited basis because there's so many organizations that we work with um, that I can't. We just can't be all over the country. But we do live. We can do 5 locations live in a day. You know what I mean? In any given week, we can do 25 locations, one person, and we have multiple consultants. So. Um, Keep that in mind if we can be of help. And just keep in mind one thing self care, no, not doing self care is selfish. Okay? Not doing self care is selfish because you're selfish to other people when you can't bring your best to them. And so you need to do self care. So reach out to me if you have any questions. We'd love to help, maybe work with you if you're interested. Again, this is work we do a lot. We're doing it all over right now. We got powerful systems. Empowering self care is our system and we have diversity from the inside out is a diversity system. Everything's a system. Our teamwork that makes the dream work is a system where we do coaching and training. That's what Todd and them are doing right now, and over at Denver Workforce. And we're here to help. Love what I do. I tell people all the time, this is not work. This is purpose. This is passion for me. And I get to wake up every day and do exactly what I love to do, and that's to empower people to maximize their potential in the workplace and in life. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.